Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So, welcome to
Lighting the way.
Indeed.
With Granny raps and rocks.
She does.
She does. And you are?
Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks. And tonight I'm going to talk about how giving up determines the future.
Ooh, that sounds
Whoa.
ominous.
Oh, that is very ominous.
And
Very
anyway,
ominous.
And my name is James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James, sometimes sweet and sour. And I'm handling the chat tonight, so please chat with us, and Beth will talk directly to you if you're there live in person.
And if you are not live in person, I can't talk to you directly, but I can answer your comments later.
Yes.
So please do leave a comment and say hi if you're here live, as well as give us your comments. And then you're part of the party.
Oh, and we already have a couple of comments.
Great.
Tracy says hello and sends caring. Thank
Hi,
you,
Tracy.
And Kat says good evening and sends a heart of love.
Wonderful.
Back at you.
So, first of all, we have to talk about what do we mean by giving up.
Okay.
You know, nothing ever just means one thing. It could
Oh.
mean so many things. So, for example, it could mean don't give up trying, right?
Yep.
It could mean don't give up hoping. It could mean don't give up expecting. And we have another comment.
And Amy says hi, Beth and James, and she sends a heart of love and a big smile. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you. Hi there, Amy. So, and to all the people who are with us tonight who haven't said hello. But we see you, we
Yes.
appreciate you, and we're so glad you're here. So, now what do I mean? There we go. Here's another one.
And
Say
Karen says hi,
hello.
Beth and James, and sends 3 hearts of love.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much.
Same back at you.
So, what do I mean when I say don't give up? Oh, I didn't say go, but I mean don't give up because it can determine the future. So we can look at all of those things. When I was a child, and I'm sure James went through the same thing, we were born in the 1940s. Yes, that was that long ago. And at that time, the big fear was not COVID.
Right.
The big fear was polio. Remember?
Oh, polio. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And it was very scary. There we go. We have another guy.
Todd says hello, Beth and James, and sends hearts, a heart of love and musical notes and a big hi. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Yay! What's happening this weekend, Beth?
Well, what's happening this weekend is we are performing a musical that was written by me, and that James is one co-star, and our wonderful friend Rosie, who's in the background at the dining room table. If you see somebody, that's Roz. She's waving.
Hi, there she is.
She is the co-star, and it's very exciting. It's going to be at the Majestic Theater in Corvallis. So if anybody happens to have a ticket from Iraq to Corvallis or Ecuador to Corvallis, please drop by for the show. It's going to be so great. And
Did you mention the title?
Fighting for Love.
Ah, yes.
And that's something we really don't want to give up on, right? We do
Oh, no.
not want to give up on fighting for love.
We
no,
want that
no,
love.
No. So what was I saying? I was talking about. Oh yes,
different meanings.
the polio vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
It was so scary. I mean, millions of people were succumbing to polio, and even the people who didn't die Oh, there's
And Kat says, "Hi, Roz." She
Kat.
sends a heart of love also.
She said hi,
Roz
Kat.
says hi back.
So, not only were millions of people killed by polio, but also people's lives were destroyed. You know, people who were in those iron lungs, and it was a terrible disease, and it was spreading like wildfire. And there were two researchers, Jonas Salk and another guy named Sabin, whose first name I don't recall, and they did not give up. And Jonas Salk first developed a vaccine. And that changed everybody's life, because it didn't only change the lives of the people who therefore did not get polio, but it also took away some of the fear that everybody had. I mean, polio was worse than COVID. And you know how much people's lives have been impacted by the fear of COVID, so you can really relate. But these guys didn't give up. And in fact, one of the fantastic things about Jonas Salk is that he didn't make any money on this vaccine, and it went all around the world. He wanted to make it as affordable and available as possible, because people all over the globe were impacted by polio. So he didn't give up, and neither did Sabin. And Salk came up with the kind of vaccine that you got
You poke it in the arm.
poke in the arm. And Sabin came up with a kind that you took orally. And there are, but the first one that was adopted was the Salk vaccine. And that was huge. And yet they could have given up. You know, we're always facing things that are extremely difficult. And sometimes it takes centuries to solve a problem.
Yeah.
You know, syphilis was a scourge before antibiotics. Smallpox, do you know what I mean? People suffered for centuries and centuries. I don't even know when they first had a reported case of polio, but it was a long time ago. You see what I mean? And so then, if everybody gave up, we would never have any of these cures, any of these vaccinations. And as much as we complain about the world we live in, and I am not immune from complaining about the world we live in.
Maybe we need a vaccine for that one too.
Oh, yeah. But there's also that fact of so many things that people have done that have made the planet better and have made life better for so many people. So now let's say that is, you look at that and say, well, yeah, but who am I? You know, I'm not going to discover. Now, if these guys had not found a vaccine for polio, maybe somebody else would have. But it took trying and effort and hope in order for that to happen. Now, if everybody had said, it'll never happen, it's impossible, it'll never happen, it's impossible, what would have happened? Well, for sure, nobody would have developed a vaccine because they would all say it's impossible. See how that determines the future? And that is true for us too. Now, sometimes we've been trying and trying and trying and things aren't working. And you're saying, oh, this isn't working. You know, I've sent my daughter to rehab 10 times. I have no money anymore. You know, and I don't know. Okay, sometimes you say, okay, I cannot do this anymore. I have run out of resources, emotional or mental. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily give up the hope that somehow this problem will be solved. And what happens if you don't? Guess what? Just by giving up on the hope or the possibility, we shut down the openness to that being possible. So sometimes a solution is right in front of our faces, but we have so given up that we don't do anything to embrace that solution. So it isn't just when we give up trying, but also when we give up hoping, or even just being open to a possibility. And you know how it is. Oh, I'm too old for love, or to start a relationship, or to quit drinking, or to bed. Oh, I'm too old, I'm too sick, I'm too tired, I'm just too busy.
Hey, Beth, aren't there times when it's appropriate to give up if you're barking up the wrong tree?
That's different. You're not giving up. You're learning. You're learning, and you say, this isn't working. And it looks like Amy.
Amy says, we really need other folks who see possibilities when we don't, to help us see those.
Exactly. Very wise, Amy. A very important point. Sometimes all we have to do is be open to trying it if somebody does come up with something. And we definitely need each other. Sometimes it's right for us to step back. Like, okay, I have been trying to do this and I'm not succeeding. Maybe I should step back because I'm the wrong person for the job. Yeah, that's okay. That isn't giving up. That is stepping back. That is dealing with the reality that I'm not getting anywhere, or that I've run out of ideas, or maybe I need to just take a break and something else will come to me, or someone else will come up with something. And then we can say, oh no, I've already tried that, or you'll never do it. And, you can start to put a dark cloud. But fortunately, if those people are listening to the show or listening to themselves, they might say, well, I don't care. I'm still going to try. But the point that I'm making is, oh, hello. There's another hello.
And Elizabeth says, hello there, and she sends a heart of love.
Hello there.
A big caring also.
Every one of us has benefited from somebody not giving up. Not giving up on us.
Right.
Not giving up on a solution. Some people might have said in the 13 colonies while we were still under the domination of the British Empire that we'll never be able to be independent. Well, we may not be mentally independent, but we are no longer in the British Empire, are we?
No.
It looked pretty hopeless, but somebody didn't give up, and it looks like we have another friend.
We have a message from one of our friends in the Ukraine. He says, good morning, my friends. Glad to see the bearers of peace and love in this troubled world. My hugs to you. Thank you, Vasily.
Our hugs to you.
Yeah.
See, look how easily the Ukrainians could give up, right? But they're not
giving up.
But sometimes it takes everybody together, because sometimes we just need to encourage each other. But it is not giving up when you take a break. Or when you say, I'm not succeeding in this, but I might support someone else in doing it. I'll give them the benefit of my research and see if there's anything that they can see in it. They're not giving up. You're just saying, okay, I cannot do this right now. Doesn't mean that I've given up hope that this is going to happen. Now, what do you think? Do you think there are people out there today who feel a little bit like giving up on the human race?
Yep.
Even the fate of the planet. Supposing people said, oh, people are so stupid, they'll never do anything about global warming. It certainly looks that way sometimes, right? But there are always people who said, no, let's see, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. And people are coming up with very interesting solutions. Now, whether or not it's in time, I don't know. But if you give up, you see, this is the point. Okay, are the drums
Okay.
rolling? My point is that if you give up, you determine the no. It's like you are making the no the only option. Whereas if you keep open to possibilities, then you are not determining the future. I'm not saying that if you don't give up, you will succeed. I'm not saying that at all. That's why I said giving up determines the future, but not giving up doesn't. Only,
And Buffy says, never throw in the towel. Amen.
amen, Buffy.
Yeah, Buffy, right on.
Right
Right
on.
on.
So, you see, we are not God. We are not the universal intelligence. Most of us aren't even Einstein. We don't know what is going to happen, when it's going to happen, or how it's going to happen. And so when I say don't give up, I mean don't predetermine the future through your own narrow experience, intelligence, and imagination. Keep open to the possibility. Keep open to the possibility that if you can't do it, someone else can. Keep open to the possibility that you might do it. That's all. But if you give up, you do determine the future, because then you stop trying and then nothing happens. Right?
Yep, that's it.
If we are trying to build a better world, so you say, oh, okay, so you have this little show and not that many viewers, and you don't have any voice, and nobody cares about what you say, and you say, right, okay, but should I give up? How do I know that one day somebody might tune into one of my programs and hear the very thing they need to hear, and then go on and develop the cure for cancer? They might not even associate it with this show, right? How do I know that I might not contribute to the answer? We all know that we build a better world by trying to be more loving and to fight for love everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Now we can look at our system, our political and economic system, and say, well, it's stacked against us. Then we give up. And then what do? We are surrendering to the status quo.
Yeah.
I don't want to surrender to the status quo. I may not be able to change things, but I can certainly support it on a psychic level, on an emotional level, financially, and through my efforts if I have anything that I can do. And we have another.
And John says, John Starling here in Arkansas, checking back in with you from time to time after 30 years. I see you're not giving up, sitting there at that piano, inspiring.
Oh, what a
Wow,
wonderful
thank
comment,
you.
John. It is such a pleasure to see you and to reconnect. We knew each other, as he says, about 30 years ago, and he lived at my house, actually, when I was running this thing called the Triple I Foundation, one of the many organizations that I tried that failed. But, I never
But
gave
you never
up.
gave up.
I have not given up. I am not going to give up. And I'll tell you something else. And I'm so glad. And I did not play the piano when I knew John. I didn't
That's
do any
right.
music. I didn't do any music at all. I didn't play the piano till I was 73. See, you just never know. So forget the I'm too old or I'm too tired or I'm too something. Just relax. Keep your heart open. Support the forward momentum and stay open stay open, stay open. Every day I wake up and think, maybe tomorrow. See, I have been chronically ill really since I was born, but I became severely ill at 15, and I've been going downhill ever since. Do you think I've given up?
No.
I mean, and I've tried a
Sound
lot of
pretty
things.
dynamic and robust to me.
Well, you see, and I've tried a lot of things, and none of them worked. But how do I know that tomorrow someone isn't going to find a cure for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome
Right.
or chronic fatigue or whatever it is? How do I know that? And then, how do I know that my body would be able to respond at my age or in my condition, even if somebody did find a solution? I don't know that either. But the whole point is, I don't know. See, I
You're
love
staying
that.
open.
Staying open. I don't know. Don't get bitter. Don't jinx it.
Right.
Don't stop progress because you're so bitter and angry and negative. Keep trying to feed yourself with something positive. Try to find something you love that you want to do that gives you something, even if it's just petting the dog, which is really important. And never give up on love. And don't give up on each other. You never know when the person next to you is going to have a breakthrough. I've seen it too many times. Not just that I had something to do with it, but other people who seemed really hopeless. You know, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I quit drinking in 1980. I have seen so many people who have turned their lives around. And sometimes it was hard to not give up on them. But the universe didn't give up on them. Somebody didn't give up on them. And I guess they really didn't give up on themselves. Because somehow or other, they turned their lives around. Let's never believe that our nation and that humanity cannot turn around the cruelty, the oppressiveness, the exploitation, the needless pain that we inflict upon ourselves and one another. Never believe that. You can say, so far I haven't seen something happen. We've all seen progress, and then we've seen backlash, and we've seen progress, and we've seen backlash. We're seeing a lot of backlash these days. But what do we tell those people? Give up? Give up? You know, you've struggled so hard to get here. Don't give up, because if you do, fate is written. Let's allow the universe to write fate instead of us. Please like this show, love this show, share this show with your friends, leave your comments, and come back next week, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time for
Lighting the way.
Lighting the Way. Granny Raps and Rocks, when I'll take on whatever the next topic is. And tomorrow night, Thursday night, is music night, musical improvs.
Magical improv.
Magical. I have no memory. What can I say? Magical improvs, where Sweet Baby James and I will be playing music from you that we create on the spot.
Yep.
So please come back, because we have a ball. And we enjoy so much seeing you.
And in the meantime, if they want to check out any other of your music or writings, videos, go to the network. We have a special website called thehealingartsnetwork.org.
Yes, healingartsnetwork.org.
And everything on that network is free.
Free.
Even the books that are sold at Amazon by her.
Yes. Books, blogs, videos, tons of music of different kind, because I've done all kinds of different kind of music. You just never know what's going to come out of this girl. So this is because you look at that website and you say, oh my God, how has she done all of this? Well, you can say, because she never she never gave up.
That's right.
Even though I'm not saying we don't want to give up sometimes, but it doesn't mean that we have to. And we have another comment.
Todd says, great show tonight. Thank you, Todd.
Love it. Thank you, Todd. Oh, yay. And we shall see you tomorrow night or next week or sometime in between. And lots of love. And check out the Healing Arts Network and let people know about it. We want to help give people a lift for no cost.
That's right.
Just because we are not giving up on humanity. And neither should you.
Yes.
But take a break if you need it.
Yeah.
Give
Bye-bye
yourself
for now.
a hug.
Thanks for coming. It's been great having you with us.
Bye-bye.